You tricked me.
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence!
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist. My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Usually wear something different, better suited to my trade. Got nothing against this particular outfit, though. Just don't exactly feel comfortable in it. And I despise formal occasions.
Nothing one can't get accustomed to. Now, be so kind as to stand still. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion.
Mean you suddenly believe the five virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. Syanna planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a fifth victim. Passion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Syanna's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
Wine vapors in the air must have gone to your head, Regis. It's over. Dettlaff's dead. Won't be any more murders.
You're entitled to your opinion. I, however, will check this. Should you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Ollie, Ollie! Accent free!
Est flows in the veins. Did vampires attack the town?
What's new, Silverlocks? Looking for diversion?
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the Duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a pallet of the blaze. If...
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Toussaint's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than 12 barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime. You content?
Yes, very. Heard a lot of good things about that appellation. Thanks again.
Cheers. In a moment I shall speak to Syanna. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly. But she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Your Grace, as head of state, you should look first and foremost after your dominion. Syanna's actions, what drove them, be damned. She's a threat to your subjects.
You are correct. They are what matters. I must not forget this. Syanna, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
I shall never forgive you.
Need some flowers. A wreath, or...
I've none. Sold everything. I was just on my way out. No sense hanging about with nothing to do. Should come as no shock, sir. Had the funeral. Folk took it all. Men, women, children. All wished to lay a bouquet on the Duchess's grave. Windflowers, peonies, gladioli. But she liked common roses best. I know. Her ladies-in-waiting would come here at times. I'd choose the loveliest blooms for her. Fragrant, big petals, the kind that last a long time. I've still not come to terms with it. To be killed by her own sister. How could it happen?
Anna Henrietta wanted to believe there was still hope for Syanna, that she'd show remorse. She reached a hand out to her. Too soon. Too trusting.
Oh, I know you. You're that witcher from the north. The one that saved us from the beast.
Mm-hmm. Could say that.
Wait here. Take these.
Thought you were out of flowers.
I put a bouquet aside. I was to take it to her myself. But you have it. I know you held the Duchess dear.
How much do I owe you?
Not a copper. Keep your coin and raise a toast in her memory tonight.
Do just that. Farewell.
Hey! Snow White! You with the exquisite hair! They say a great deal about the veins of to whisper.
Where's that coat gone this time? To bury the murderous lass in one crypt with the Duchess. It's not decent.
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was...
Wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one expected Syanna to do that, persist to the end. And none of us did anything to stop her. 'Cause there was nothing we could do.
I suppose you are right. But when someone so beloved dies, one cannot help but search one's soul for blame. And even the hardiest knights grow faint-hearted then.
Come to pay my respects. Bid the Duchess farewell.
White roses. They were her favorite. Go inside then. She lies in the ducal crypt.
What? Who decided that?
The Regent's Council. A pack of old men who've statutes and codices for hearts. Ducal blood flowed in Syanna's veins.
And all this, what did it bring you? Rest in peace. I regret it ended this way, that I failed to prevent it. Hope you can forgive me. Rest in peace.
Stylish crypt, quite subdued. Yes, this is the kind of eternal resting place I dream of.
Moments like this, I never know if you're joking or serious.
Serious, Geralt, serious. It's remarkably peaceful, subtly charming to the hilt. A perfect match for the Duchess's dignity. Ah, you humans, you'll never cease to amaze me. To feel despair in the face of natural processes to which you are predestined. I've come to take you from this place, my friend. Dare say you deserve a speck of respite after the mad whirl of the last few days.
All those deaths I failed to prevent. Feel pretty awful right about now. Can't help thinking I could have done more. Now Toussaint's left without a ruler, or more accurately, chaos rules here. Hand in hand with despair. Duchess won over people's hearts. All Beauclair now weeps for her.
A mass outburst of emotion. Well, it seems her subjects have adopted some of their recent ruler's traits.
Why the sarcasm? Thought you liked Anna Henrietta.
I did. And I do truly rue her passing.
Me too.
Then let us drink.
Whatever you say about Syanna, you gotta admit...
That she was. I do admit it.
True.
How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diavolis variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have...
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some.
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget
Thanks. Right then.
This moonlight makes me oh so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about...
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire after all. Damn it, where'd you go? Regis! Those Bruxae, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as... That is why I must leave Toussaint.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you in your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Don't really know yet. Might find the life of a hard-working vintner too Or maybe I'll just stick to the path. Go.
Ah, roadsides, bedrolls, and the sky above. I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken.
How could it not? We just set off to rescue...
Our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances like Mamoons and Doppler.
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. I so don't feel...
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home.